Okay, I'll go for it. I'll go for it. We're here talking about the Batman 2022. So this is ain't no channel intro, ain't no channel introduction. This is just what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about movies, TV shows, anything that you can fucking review, music, whatever. I'm going to review it, and it's going to be called the President Reviews because I am the president, Mook, Mark, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Not gonna really waste no time with this shit. Just really finna get into it. Talking about the Batman, obviously, as the fucking title says, and I'm wearing a Batman shirt. You already know the movie's been out for a week now. I think a week. Review embargo lifted March 1st, I think. And the movie had March 2nd, March 30th, March 4th releases, and then officially released the 5th or the 4th. One of the days. I know I seen it a day early before the actual release. But whatever. Batman has been on the world's mind. It's always on the world's mind, but been very upfront right now because Batman just dropped and everybody talking about it, as they should. It's a great movie. And speaking on it being a great movie, I love Batman. It's bad Batman movies. It's great Batman movies. Let's not, I know it's hard not to compare because, it's Batman. He has a ton of stuff to look at and compare it to movie wise. Don't compare it to The Dark Knight. Don't do that. Don't do it to the Nolan trilogy. Don't do it to Matt Reeves. Don't do it to anybody that made these two separate entities. These are two separate movie series. The Dark Knight, I love it. I love it just as much as everybody else does. It is a fantastic movie. Heath Ledger played the fucking Joker so fucking well. He's probably the greatest villain depiction we have ever seen live action wise. And just, yeah, don't do that. The movie, you're doing yourself a disservice by going into this movie thinking about The Dark Knight. And I think that's why you could not like the Batman. Okay, let's get that out the way. You could not like the Batman. But some people are going into this with the mindset that they're going to watch The Dark Knight because that's their version of Batman that they've seen before. And that is not what you're going into this getting. You're not going to get that. Christopher Nolan did not make this movie, and Christian Bale is not Batman. So leave that where that's at. You're going to hurt your feelings looking for that movie because this is not what that movie is. It is grounded in realism like that. But outside of that, it's not that. So leave it where it's at. Dark Knight is a great movie. The Nolan trilogy is a great trilogy. I can't even fucking talk. I'm tongue tied. But fuck that. Love that shit, but we're not here to talk about that. Just wanted to get that out the way because I'm going to go into this review trying not to compare their movies, which I hope I do a good job of. I'm just going to leave it where it's at. But the Batman 2022 is what we're all here for. Try not to say either because that's why I redid. I had to reshoot this, y'all. But great movie, off bat, great movie. Loved it to death. Matt Reeves had a vision. Michael Giacchino had a vision. Greg Fraser, Robert Pattinson, everybody involved had a vision, and they set out to accomplish this. And one time in that movie where I felt like I was taken out of it. They realized Gotham so well, and they threw you into the world. They didn't sit and wait with you to know where you at. Like, you've seen Batman before. Everybody's seen Batman before. Everybody knows who Batman is, who Alfred is, who Gordon, Catwoman, Penguin, Gotham is in general. Everybody know what it is. And they threw you into the world, and they threw you into their version of Gotham. Because you have a base information about what Gotham is about and what Batman looks like and things like that. And then they threw you into their world, and they remixed it for you a little bit, which is fucking great. I like how dark Gotham is. Just that aspect of it. The darkness is shot. It shot really well. It's a fantastic shot. The movie is shot fantastically. Greg Fraser was the cinematographer for this movie, and I know they shot it digital, then they converted it a couple of times to give it that look. But a lot of shots were practical. A lot of the light that was used was like, for instance, the scene with the gunshots, and he was in the hallway. They used actual muzzles and gunshots and flashes to light that scene, or the water scene with what the fuck is that? The flare gun, just the flare. They used an actual flare. That was the only light that they said that they used for that scene. So shooting this practically like that was amazing. The score, the soundtrack for this movie, just the sound design in general was amazing. Michael Giacchino and his score was great. The Batman theme and the Nirvana something's in the way shit. I've been bumping that shit. Not gonna hold you. Been bumping that shit. It's the they knew what they wanted out of Batman, and hearing the music and the moody and depression of everything, and then hearing the music and then seeing how Gotham look, and then just putting the characters in there and making that world real. You felt that. It put you in there. And that's what you're supposed to do. A movie is escapism. It's supposed to make you escape to a different world. And I felt that. I felt like I was in there. And just speaking on that aspect of things, it was a director that knew what they wanted out of a movie. They had a vision and they realized it. And this is what you get when you trust directors. You trust the director, you trust their vision, you give them the money that they need to make it, and you let them work. And a lot of times it does work. Especially, it's crazy because they gave them the keys to the Mercedes, the Jag, the Ferrari, the Lambo. Batman is how Warner Bros eats. If it's a Batman property, they're going to make money off of it. The Joker had his own solo movie, not related to anything, and they made $1 billion off that. That's how much Batman means to them. So for them to give Matt Reeves the keys to the property, the keys to the house, and the mansion or whatever, and let him work, and he did what he did with this budget and shooting it for 18 months, and them trusting him is amazing. You could see it because he's a fan, just like Robert Pattinson is a fan of Batman. They're both fans of Batman. Everybody is a part of this, I feel like, is a fan in some sense of the form. But the two most important people, the director and Batman himself, are fans of his work, and you could tell from what stories they took from Ego to Year One to Earth Zero, Long Halloween, just all of those stories, Telltale Batman, Arkham, the Arkham series, all of those were plucked from, and it made this Batman, which is what I love. Like I said, the score is amazing. Gotham and how dark and broody it is. It's no light at all. Everything is rainy and depressing, and it's and just all of that aspect of the movies. They get it. They get it. I like how Wayne Manor looks. How it would be a bat. Like you would think a nigga that wants to dress like a bat would live in Wayne Manor. It's so gothic and low hanging ceilings. Like I said, there's no light. They don't really use light in this bitch because Gotham is dark. It's supposed to be dark all the time. That's just what it is. And they did that. And the most important aspect, we're just gonna get everybody out the way, the characters out the way. The most important character goes first, and that's Batman. Batman, Robert Pattinson is Batman. I feel like he's Batman. He is every bit of Batman that you can be. This is what, if I was a Batman fan, I mean, if they, obviously I'm a Batman fan, if they gave me the keys to a Batman movie, I would have made a Batman movie like this. I think probably probably a little bit more fantastical, but that's what I felt like when I was watching it. Like I didn't have no complaints watching it, and I didn't have no complaints with his version of Batman. He took everything from every Batman. Batman is the world's greatest detective. I saw it. Batman is also moody as fuck and sad and depressed. I saw that. He he's a lost child. He's hurt. He thinks him dressing as a bat is what's supposed to avenge his parents' death, and they gave him death with that. Like his parents are not perfect people, and he's confused on what his goal is now. Like I did all of this for them, and these niggas is out here having niggas kill people. Use my peoples. I'm out here beating niggas ass in your memory, and the niggas I'm fighting is the niggas you had kill somebody that didn't do shit for real. I like that they made Batman crazy like his villains. When they do shit like that, it makes sense because he's a nigga in a bat suit getting shot with bullets and jumping off rooftops and wearing eye makeup at night and fighting crazy people. He's just as crazy as them. He might have a different moral code and stuff like that, but he's a little loose up top. They showed it with his parents' heritage lineage. Like his mother is Martha Arkham, Arkham Asylum. Like they did it. They finally did it because I've seen this stuff before. So I'm not the type of person. I'm gonna just put this out there. I like the comic books. I love comic books. I'm not gonna be the type of nigga. I can differentiate the movies and the comic books because sometimes they not gonna fully take everything from it. But I do like when they take from comic books and try to do a full comic book storyline almost and use stuff like that. So, but I'm not gonna be the nigga that be mad that they don't do everything in the comics. That's just not realistic. It's not gonna happen. But yeah, just back to Batman. His relationships with people, they showed his relationships perfectly with how he interacts with different people, his fighting style, the bat suit, the Batmobile, just everything about him. And for people to say he's not emotional as Batman, because I've seen some people say that, he's very fucking emotional. His parents are fucking dead. He's supposed to be emotional. He's in Gotham in a dark ass city where there's no hope. And he's fighting for the hope. And in his mind, he knows back in it. Got a phone call, but like I said, in his mind, I think he knows Gotham is irredeemable, but in his heart, he the son of Gotham. He the prince of Gotham. His parents built Gotham. His family are the first family of Gotham, both of them. And so in his heart, he still feel like he could save Gotham, and is well realized why he's fighting. And the first shot, which I should have touched on in the beginning, but the first shot of him being Batman and them weaponizing the shadows. And this is what I mean when you have a director and an actor that understand the character perfectly. I don't understand people saying he didn't feel like a myth. This nigga was a myth, and he's in his second year. They scared to go outside and commit crimes because they see a bat signal in the sky and they think he's in the fucking shadows. They don't want to do shit because they scared of the shadows. He ain't even there. He be on the other side of the city beating up somebody else, and they dropping paint cans and running down the street and all that shit. And even with the Joker gang, spoilers, I'm going to spoil this movie because this is what this review is. It's going to be 25 minutes. I gotta fucking spoil it. The Joker gang scene, the beginning, the dude being scared and thinking Batman gonna be there, and him just looking around and Batman not showing up until the last second. And his foot, like I said, the sound design is so fucking crazy. His feet stumping out of the shadows and him eventually coming out and beating the shit out of them and being so violent and angry. And he doesn't talk a lot, which I like for his character. He doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't have to say much. He's a big ass nigga in a bat suit. He also feels like the smartest person in the room. He's intimidating. You can see it in his eyes. These two places where he acting at is here and really here. And you can see that with how he doesn't say much. And he was very emotional, which is crazy because like people say he wasn't emotional as Batman. He was finna fuck. I think people want more of it's more subtle acting than outrageous ass acting. Like, it's subtle. The mouth movements, the eye movements. Him finna cry. He was finna cry when he saw the mayor's son multiple times. Or after Alfred almost died and getting blown the fuck up. And just all that stuff with him looking at Selena a certain way. Like, you could see it in his eyes, his emotions, and what he felt. It was very telling. And it's very easy to see how he was as Batman. So I love this version of Batman. Very emotional and raw and young. He's a young Batman. And so that's why his Bruce Wayne is not where it's supposed to be at. Because he doesn't think Bruce Wayne is an important aspect of his life. But it is. Bruce Wayne is a philanthropist and a billionaire, and he can help the city in his own way. And he has his own character arc. And so, yeah, he's important just like Batman is. And that's why his Bruce Wayne is more downplayed and not all the way up yet. But he's going to get there. I'm giving him time because it's a trilogy. So his Bruce Wayne could be better, but it's going to change. I'm not mad at that. He's going to be better as Bruce Wayne. So Catwoman is well realized. Not going to be, like I said, the nigga that be like comic accurate, but she's comic accurate. And I like that aspect of her. She's year one Catwoman. She's from the streets. She likes to help people. She has friends that she likes to help. She hates the rich. And she loves Batman. She already got chemistry. Well, she don't love Batman. And I don't think people understand the dynamic of the relationship right now. They horny and lonely. They both horny and fucking lonely. And they doing the same shit. They in the same field. They the only people that they know doing the same shit right now. they're horny. That's all that is. I don't think they're in love yet. They have feelings for each other. I don't think it's love yet, but I mean, yeah, they horny as fuck. They wearing tight ass skin tight suits. That's what it's gonna be. That's just how it's gonna be. She loves the mystery of him, and I think she fuck with that he's trying to do the right thing, or beating on the same people that she's trying to kill. So, but Selena is layered. I like that her father is Carmine Falcone. Every aspect of her I fuck with. And plus it's Zoe Kravitz, and she fine as hell. And I would act the same way if I was Batman. I would want that. Come on now. Like, we get it. I was trying to go in order of importance, so I'm not gonna really do that. But I like Gordon. I don't think it's been a bad depiction of Gordon. Alfred and Gordon, I don't think really have bad depictions of them, and this is another good one. Jeffrey Wright played him exceptional. I like the fact that they didn't do the Batman and Gordon doesn't trust Batman yet. We're not doing that. Like I said, they threw us into the world. You already know who the fuck these people are. We don't need this type of character introduction. They already fuck with each other. It's the second year. Gordon trusts Batman. Batman trusts Gordon because they're the only two people fighting for this fucking city in the soul of Gotham. And you see that through their character depictions. They fuck with each other. They're cool. They homies. They work buddies. They do what they need to do. And for people saying this movie not funny, Gordon has the funny moments. He has funny moments just like Batman had his little funny moments, or Penguin. Just Gordon had funny moments. This movie is not going to be in your face, ha ha, laugh out loud fest. It doesn't take you out with the humor. And I love Marvel movies, obviously, the two Marvel movies, and the posters in the back, and the other fantastic. Like, I fuck with Marvel, but sometimes in their movies they take you out of emotional scenes or characters, like real character scenes, with a joke. And you don't need jokes all the time, but that's how they make their money, which I understand. It's cool, but Batman is not that. And going into that movie think you're going to get flat out funny ass comedian, you're not going to get that. But it has jokes, and Gordon has them. But Gordon is just like Batman is. He's the hope and the soul of the city, and they both realize that, and that's why they both connect as characters, because they know they're the only two people really fighting for Gotham for real. Like, they need to. They're not corrupt. They're incorruptible, and Gordon is shown that way. And I fuck with the mustache. It's cool as fuck. Penguin, comedic relief. I'm saying that lightly, but he was funny in the movie. Colin Farrell, unrecognizable, but fantastic job. He felt like a nigga from The Sopranos or The Godfather. One of them, he really felt like a mobster. I love his club. The club gave us some of the best scenes. And yeah, more to come from him, but he did great. Alfred, fantastic in the scenes he was in. Well, I can't really say fan. He was good, but his relationship with Bruce is going to be way more fleshed out. He wasn't in the movie a lot, and I thought they was going to kill him off because how much he wasn't in the movie when they really blew him up, but he didn't die. So, I mean, that's cool. Shout out Alfred, living and shit. But yeah, that was cool. I fuck with him. He gave Bruce some levity and let him be him. And he also, like, told him shit. He made him see shit about himself, and Bruce realized he does have somebody to care about. Even though he tried to hide it, he does care about Alfred. He loves Alfred. Alfred is the father figure. And I like that they making Alfred more than just a butler. He's a ex-military, whatever they gonna make him do, because I know some iterations make him ex-military and stuff like that, but whatever they did with him, I fuck with. So, and I want to see their relationship more fleshed out, and the scene in the hospital with him and Bruce really helped Bruce as a character, and Bruce realized that it's important being him. He ain't just got to be the bat, you know. And Riddler, I guess we just gonna go straight. Riddler was great. He's great. I have nothing bad to say about Paul Dano's performance. Unhinged, crazy as fuck. You can see the Seven inspiration, because that's what they said inspired this movie. Everything about it, top notch. Crazy ass motherfucker trying to blow up a city. I like that he thought Batman was just as smart as him, so he let Batman go and find the clues. His riddles was great. I was trying to solve them while watching the movie. Yeah, I don't really have no complaints about him. The scene with him and Batman and Arkham, and I think it was basically going back and forth about their moral standings or how they view things, and Riddler thought Batman was just like him. And he was so blue that he didn't think that they didn't have the same ideals. And you could see that in this, he yelling, and he crazy as fuck. He really is a psychopath. And you see it. So, I like how he had a little 500 followers. That was funny as fuck. Because 500 followers is a lot still. Like, that's 500 people following you. Imagine 500 people outside your apartment right now. Or your house. That's a lot of fucking people. So for him to have that many followers and for them to execute that plan, his plan is literally from Earth Zero Batman comic, I think, when he flooded the city. So kudos to him for that. Well, kudos to Paul Dano for displaying all of that, just angst and anger and just he mad at the world because he's an orphan. He didn't get the opportunities that he's supposed to get. And he was trying to peel back the layers of Gotham, which he did. Carmine Falcone, John Turturro was good. I had no problem with him. He's good. I like that he showed Bruce his father's true colors. Not really true, but like Bruce found out his parents. He didn't know his parents. Well, his father really didn't know Carmine was gonna have somebody killed, get him killed or whatever. But it just shows that everybody's not perfect. The city does shit to you. Gotham is that type of city. It does shit to you. And the world building that Carmine and just that mob aspect did for Gotham, I want to see more of it. You want to get more of it in the Penguin show. So that was great. That was really great. And just, this also brings up a point for what it's not a perfect movie. It's close to it. It's really close to it for me. But the mob scene, just that storyline, I felt like in the Riddler storyline, even though they melded well, the way when it ended with Carmine, I felt like the movie could have ended on that if they wanted to. But then I remember they had to have the Riddler shit, which is good. So, and the Riddler shit gave us what Batman is going to be. He realized he has to be hope. He can't be vengeance all the time. And when he tried to sacrifice himself and then use the light to guide the people out and showed that he was actually the light that they were supposed to have, like symbolic of that. And then when the lady didn't let him go when he saved her, like that's Batman. He knows he has to be a hero, not just vengeance. So, and my favorite scene, I didn't touch on that. I touched on the characters, I didn't touch on my favorite scene, the Batmobile scene. That's when I knew he was Batman for real. The shadows shit and him coming out the shadows and beating on people that's Batman. But the scene, the detective work, all of that stuff, Batman. Him walking through the club angry and then realizing he has to do different tactics. He went in there as Batman and he went in there as Bruce. Then he snuck around. That's character growth. That's showing the shit. But that Batmobile scene when that engine revved up and you seen the blue flames from behind and Penguin face just fucking drop. Like he shitted on himself. And you seen his eyes, and he was scared. Like Batman puts fear in the criminals, and he did that. And like I said, Batman is fucking crazy. And so for him to go to the lengths to try to get Penguin no matter what, and jumping through flaming vehicles, and it was shot practically, that's Batman. You can't recreate that scene. Like, you can't do that. You can't have no reaction like you did when you first hit a Batmobile cut on, and then just see the cape hanging out, and it was him. He's Batman. But all in all, I really enjoyed the fucking movie. The end scene with Joker is cool because Batman and Joker are yin and yang. They twins. They can't go nowhere without each other. They have to be connected. I know they're going to bring other villains in, which is good. I hope they do. Batman storylines a lot of time is not just one villain. It's multiple. You'll have a Riddler and Catwoman and Bane and Joker storyline where they all interconnect. So you can do that. And I hope they do that with the movies. I hope Joker is not just the sole aspect of the next movie or the third movie or whatever they're going to use him in. But I want other villains in there. I want Mr. Freeze. I want Killer Croc, Clayface, Man-Bat, Firefly, just all them other Batman villains. I want them in there. I want to see them. And I want a Robin. Fuck all that. I want a Robin. If you do Long Halloween, you got to do Dark Victory. And the way he was looking at the mayor's son, he's going to have a Robin. I don't want to hear shit about shit. He's going to have a fucking Robin, and it's going to happen. So that's all I want. But outside of that, love Wayne Manor, love the aesthetic, love the neo-noir aspects. Like I said, shot well. Could have ended at different points. But that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. But we will see the Batman that we want to see, that people think they want to see. The Bruce Wayne aspect, all that stuff. It will come eventually. But it's the first movie. It's first movie, 18 months to make, 2-3 year wait, different directors switched around, different Batman. It finally came to realization. It came out so well crafted. When I say well crafted, paced so well that I didn't realize it was 3 hours. Like, I knew it was 3, but I didn't feel it. So it's it. This is a great movie. I don't know what else I want to say. I hope y'all seen it or are going to see it if you're watching this while I'm spoiling the fuck out of this movie. But I have hope. I want to see the rest of this. I want to see the rest of the world that Matt Reeves built, because he did an amazing job world building. This felt like his own version of Gotham and Batman, but it felt home. It felt like home. It felt like I knew this Batman. And I knew this Gotham and his characters. But I think I touched on everything. Gordon, Alfred, all of that. I touched on all of that. So, yeah, that's it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope y'all like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit. More to come. But, yeah, it's the president. I'm going to catch y'all later, man.